Okay, students, so we'll go to the question number 12. That is, obtain a DFA to accept strings of zeros, ones, and twos, beginning with a zero, followed by odd number of ones, and ending with a two. Okay, so observe it carefully. What they are suggesting is the string should begin with zero. How many number of zero? Only one. Beginning with a zero. They are mentioning only one number of zero. It should be followed by odd number of ones. Odd number of ones, okay, and ending with a 2, okay. So this is what the minimum requirement, 0 1 2. If this is the case, okay, then DFA should accept this string, okay. If it is beginning with 0012, it should be rejected, okay. Or else if it is beginning with 0 and ending with two number of value 2, then also it should be rejected, okay. But if you are beginning with 10 and ending with 1 2, okay, and in between if you are having odd number of ones, then it will be accepted. Yeah, so first we will design a DFA with this minimum requirement. Later we'll go for checking all the possibilities, okay. So here 3 we have, right? Okay, 1 2 3. Length of this particular minimum string is 3, so we are expecting n plus 1, that is equal to 4 number of states exactly, okay. So q naught we have, right? The initial part will be the q naught. Fine, start. Okay, then later in between we'll be having q1, okay, later q2, later q3, right? Okay, fine. So on receiving 0 in q naught, it will go to q1, right? Then on receiving q1, okay, so it will go to q3 exactly, sorry, q2 exactly, okay, on receiving one. Why I'm drawing like this? Okay, because I will tell you later, because odd number of one it is, so we need to create a cycle over here. Okay, I tell you later when we are discussing about this string. I will tell you why I'm drawing like this. Clear? Okay, fine. Then later 0 1 over, if q2 is receiving 2, then it should move towards the final state, okay. So q3 should be made as the final state. Is it right? Q3 should be made as a final state. Then the minimum string 0 1 2 will be accepted by this DFA. Yeah. Then later, if it is like 0 triple 1 2, yes, it should be accepted, right? But we don't have here. In case of Q2, see 0 1. After that, what we have? Two number of 1 we are having, right? So that should be processed. But in Q2, we don't have a transition for either 0 or 1 exactly. So we need to provide some transition for Q2 so that if it is having odd number of ones, then it should move towards the final state. If it is having even number of one, then it should move towards the trap state. So here I'm going to write the trap state, okay, for these two examples, okay, that I will write it later. So now observe it, 0, okay, fine, you are reaching the Q1. On receiving 1, you will be reaching the Q2. Fine, okay. So now if you are having odd number of 1, and if I provide a reverse loop for 1, okay, reverse loop for 1 on receiving Q2, a string called as a 1, okay. If I provide it a reverse loop to Q1, see here, if you are having odd number of 1, see here, first one, second one, and the third one. Later, if it is one number of 2, it will be accepted, right? Then if it is a 5 number of 1, yes, it is your odd, okay. 0 followed by 5 number of ones and followed by 1 2 exactly, okay. So 0 5 number of 1 it is, first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and the fifth one. So you are at Q2 now. What is the next input? 2 exactly, so it will be accepted. Clear? Okay, so now if string is beginning with multiple number of zeros, then what we should do? Okay, condition is there. Then if string is beginning with 1 or 2, then what we should do? Okay, so first deal with Q naught. See here, according to this question, 0 1 2 are the 3 alphabets we are having. So for 0 we have a transition from Q naught. Now what we need to do? For 1 and 2 we need to discuss. See, if a string is beginning with 1 or 2, whether it is in a proper format? No. See here, what is the format? 0 followed by odd number of ones and ending with 2 is. Sorry, ending with 2 exactly. Okay. So now we need to find the transition for 1 comma 2. Okay. So what I would like to do is, I will be using a trap state which is called as a Q4. Okay, which is called as a Q4. Fine. On receiving 1 comma 2 exact. Okay, means Q naught if it is receiving. Okay, 1 0 triple one two. Okay, whether it is in a proper format, what they are expecting in this question? No, it is not in a proper format. Remember why? Because you are beginning with one. Actually, you need to begin with zero. How many number of zero? Only one number of zeros. Now, if you are beginning with multiple number of zeros, okay, see here, first zero will be processed by your Q naught, and you will be reaching for the Q1. So for Q1, what I left is I need to provide a transition for 0 and 2 because I already have a transition for 1. What I left is 0 and 2 exactly. Okay. So now, if in the place of Q1, if it is receiving 0 or 2, also it should be transferred for the trap state. Okay. When you are going to get this kind of condition, when you are having 00 triple one two, one possibility, or else 02 triple one two if you are having, in these two situations, you are going to enter for the Q4. See, in this condition, 00 we are having 0 0 Q4 directly. Then second condition, okay, 02 we are having 0. Then if you are having 2, directly you are entering for the Q4 one. Yeah. Okay. Then what about this Q2? Same. Okay. Q2 is also having for 1 exactly. So if you are receiving, okay, in the place of Q2, sorry, here we are having two transitions. For 2 also we have, for 1 also we are having. If Q2 is receiving 2, then it will go for Q3. If Q2 is receiving 1, it will go for Q1 exactly. So what I left is only 0. Okay, in this place, if 0 is received, then again we are violating this condition. So obviously it should go for a trap state over there. Okay, so in the final state, observe it, in this particular location, in the final state, okay, Q3, if it is receiving, how many transition we left with? All three transition we are left with. Here, if it is receiving 0, then also it should go for final trap state. If it is receiving 1, then also it should go for trap state. If you are receiving 2, also it should go for a trap state. Why? Because according to condition, it should end with only 1, 2. Okay. So already that 2 is being assisted by this particular transition, that is Q2 to Q3. So if you are getting double 2 at last, okay, like 0, triple 1, double 2 if you are having, okay, then this two, according to this two, you are entering for the trap state because this will not be accepted by the DFA. Clear? Then what I left is, what about for Q4? Again, it will be also having 1 comma 0 comma 2 or 0 comma 1 comma 2 also you can write. Okay, like I had written like 1 comma 0 comma 2. Okay, both are same. Okay, so this is what a particular DFA for this particular question. Question number 12. Obtain a DFA to accept strings of zeros and 0 comma 1 comma 2. Okay, beginning with a 0 followed by odd number of ones and ending with a 2. Okay, okay, students. For this, you want to write the transition table. Fine. Okay, we'll see how the transition table look like. Okay. So how many inputs are there? Total 3 inputs are there, right? So 3 column we are expecting now. Okay, 3 inputs 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so we are beginning with Q0, then later Q1, then later Q2, then Q3, and Q4. Right? Okay, here start state is the Q0 and the final state is Q3 exactly. So here I will start with Q4 because it is having a self loop. Q4 and Q4. Then what about Q3? Okay, fine. Q3 on receiving 0, 1, 2, it will be going for Q4 itself, right? Yeah, it will be going for Q4 itself. So Q4, Q4, Q4. Okay. Then what about Q0 on receiving 0, it will be going for Q1. On receiving 1 or 2, it will be going for Q4, right? Okay. Then what about for Q1? On receiving 1, it will be going for Q2. On receiving 0, oh, sorry, wait. Okay, Q1 on receiving 0, it will be going for Q4. On receiving 1, it will go for Q3. Q3 or Q2? Q2 exactly. Be careful, students. Okay, so how I did a mistake? for this kind of complicated figure, okay, you may also do the same mistake. Okay, so be careful. Then Q1 on receiving 2, it will be going for Q4. Okay, then the last thing is Q2. Q2 on receiving 0, it will be going for Q4. Okay, on receiving 1, it will be going for Q1. Okay, then Q2 on receiving 2, it will be going for Q3 exactly. So this is what the transition table, what we can write for this particular DFA. Okay, students. So we'll meet with question number 13 in next video.